You gotta pay the bills somehow, you know.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, well, hello, everyone out there in whiskey land. Welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king and home of the Fat Boy tasting notes. Also, this evening, we have all 4 people with us. Fantastic. It's rare. It happens. And it's for the Craft Whiskey Awards this evening. So thank you, everyone, for being here and stopping in. Before we go one step further, should we make Mike go through his progression to let everyone out there know about the Bar Cart Co-op?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know why not.
All right. Jesse's out there. I love it, Jesse. What's going on?
Jesse's here.
I got a little package. I need his address.
Let me clear my throat. We don't have that song queue up.
I watched that.
My throat. Right. So we are proud members of the Bar Cart Co-op, which is a collection of friends who create content for the whiskey and other distilled spirits public. The Bar Cart Co-op YouTube and Facebook pages have information about upcoming and past special shows that happen about every quarter. There are blind tastings, distiller panels, discussions of special collaborations, and the usage of unique grains. Bar Cart Co-op has educational and fun episodes for your enjoyment. And the oldest show in the group is Distillers Talk, hosted by Alan Bishop and Christy Atkinson, or Christy Atkinson and Alan Bishop, depending on how you roll. It's a conversation with people from distilleries and distillery adjacent that gets into deep and sometimes off the rails and back again discussions with their interviews. New episodes arrive at the end of the work week. And if that one is not nerdy enough, please check out One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute. I'll get it out there eventually. This is the show where Mr. Alan Bishop answers any questions about distilling and often puts them to the test. It could be individual grains, entire mash bills, equipment, or methodology. New episodes come out randomly, so subscribe. Then there is the Bourbon Turntable, where they mix the love of music with the love of whiskey. They have conversations with musicians, writers, distillery folks, and common folks about music and whiskey. It releases every Wednesday on all your platforms, including the YouTube. And if you have ghosts, you have everything, which is a show about the spirits and paranormal among us, as well as the unexplained and the spiritual. Subscribe on Spotify to get all the seasons. And last, but certainly not least, at least as far as whiskey goes, as far as fantasy football goes, dead last in the league, Whiskey in My Ring with our friend, Mr. David Levine. David does really good interviews. David does really good job with his notes. David does a really good job with his awards. But what he does not do a good job with is fantasy football, except when he has to pay up with his bottle. He did a pretty good job with that. But
he did it right away, too.
He did, and he was quick. He had time because his team was in the crapper. So yeah, please check out Lil David Levine.
I'm trying to say that bottle was boxed up and ready to go. Is that it?
I think he knew from week 2. I'm donating.
I think he beat me in week 3, so I'm just saying this came out of nowhere.
You know, he was strong there for a minute, and then no.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Morgan, how are you guys doing?
We're doing okay. How are y'all?
Yeah,
I'm digging it. Ooh. All right then.
We just got back from Omaha.
Oh, is Omaha all done now?
the 31st.
The 31st. It's all done. Nice.
Of this month or another month?
This month.
Okay.
Finally.
That chapter book done.
Yep.
Okay.
So all my paperwork is signed to start with Michigan the 1st. So
Sweet.
Excited for my new chapter.
I like it. And this is all a show about stuff we like. So what category should we start off with here? Because we have quite a few, and I actually got to get over to those covers because
I say ladies' choice.
I floated.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to kick it off. You get to pick the category, madam.
Madam.
Let's start with whiskey.
All right.
One?
The big one?
Wow.
Okay, no.
I like
Let's do single malt.
Oh my God.
There we go.
I like big.
Let's
I'm
do
shifting
single malt.
gears.
All right. Craft single malt whiskey of the year will be the category we start off with this evening, which is because it's wide open. And I found myself, I believe, to clearly be in a certain pattern of taste profile when I went back through this. So I don't know if I want to apologize to the rest of the single malt category, but I had a certain very distinct flavor that that pulled towards me during the tasting this year. So it was, I kind of narrowed down my profile. It was very, very weird. So mine all tended to have some form of peat in them this year.
That's fair.
Not something I was expecting, but as I was tasting, maybe I was missing something in my diet. But damn, that's the path I went down that day. I was like, nope, you and you and you. And I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Excuse me. So on that note, I was gonna say one of the ones I had in there was Northern Waters peated whiskey that they had. I was gonna say I really dug that one. I was gonna say, and I am gonna say this one wrong, Mike. You gave it to us. It was a distillery, but now it has passed on as of June or July of this year. The Manhattan Alley still works.
Manatawny still works.
Manatawny still works.
Mm-hmm.
Their peated rye, it was subtle and just really nicely done. They go into that crouch category for me. Maybe I found out about them too late at the tail end, and son of a bitch, really where I feel about that one. But for me, the one I went with was Liberty Pool's peated rye malt. Where I was going to say, I really dug how much that almost emulated a Scotch, though it was American. How much flavor profile that came out of that one, like contrast from the other one I just mentioned, where it was much more so. This one much more bold. I really, really liked that one. And like I said, obviously my path went down a certain alleyway that way when I was tasting single malt that day, but I can't do anything about it. So, and I stand by my statements. The three I mentioned are all very good, and I'm happy with them. So that's where I'm done with my single malt rambling. Sorry, the first one's panicky. You gotta get that out of your system. I don't have stuff pre-written down like the Golden Globes or anything. Maybe we should get cue cards for next year.
Well, that'll be a big budget increase. Feet picks to afford cue cards.
Could be.
We have a budget.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody has a budget.
It's like $88.
Okay.
But no, I was gonna say there's plenty other ones out there that I liked. But like I said that day, I was a very peated fan, and I've started to really enjoy seeing Americans' version of peat. I was gonna say people are working for their own variants, and it does have a different flavor profile a lot of times than its Scottish cousins. So I dig it. So I'm gonna pass the bar. So who wants to pick it up?
Mitch or Morgan, go ahead.
guys running track and field. You
All
don't
right.
remember we got a handoff of
So,
the
I had a couple honorable mentions. So Northern Waters peated for me was an honorable mention. I disqualified it because I had it the year before. So I didn't choose that one this year, even though, oh my God, is it amazing. Other honorable mention. Hi, Duncan. Sorry. His tail just smacked my glass. Now the show is better. The other one was Redwood Empire. Picked up some of their single malt this year, and I really enjoyed it. I forgot the name of it, but everything they make is real good. But my winner is actually a Wilden. Tried their single malt at Distill America, and I was so upset that they weren't releasing it while we were in state because I wanted to buy it so badly.
What was the name of that one again? Sorry.
A Wilden. The down the street from.
Okay, yeah. Was that the one that was almost like the Irish malt?
Yes.
Okay.
So they have the poutine and
yes. I know
Yeah.
exactly who you're talking about, and I was just making sure which one it was because that one, yes, that one was very good too, and I do remember that being in there.
Mhm.
So excellent choices.
All right, Morgan, looks
Mike?
like you're next.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So apparently I'm channeling Mitch and Patrick because I also had a Wilden as one of them. Also had the, I can't say it, the Manitani.
Yeah.
Yep. Which never in a million years that I think I would have something peated in my list, but guess what? Here we are.
And that's saying something. That should be like a quote for them.
A special
Right?
category.
Yeah. That was there. But the one that took it for me this year, total plot twist, was actually the port cask finish one from Virginia Distilling that they had at Distill America this year. That there was something about that just the heavens opened and the angels sang. I really like port finish stuff, and there was something that was smooth and creamy and quite lovely about that.
Yeah, made it more like a berries and cream, but yeah, I like it. The type of port matters. I didn't used to say port finish, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm almost to the point where it comes from matters if you're doing it. Not that I know enough about that to say peep, but I know enough that it does matter.
Yeah.
Like
how it's used.
Yeah. Like, is it dry or
is it a complementary flavor or is it a port bomb? like with any finishing, which in port bombs and sherry bombs can be great.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, I had, which I think I probably had some. We all had some of the same ones on there. This was the first year I got to try the Northern Waters peated malt. Fantastic. The Manitani, that was really good. It was just it's such a shame that that they're not around because that really hit on there. One of my favorites was one because I eliminate single barrels from choices of a category because that my personal opinion is that single barrel it's not the same, not a normal release. But there was a one that I got from Single Cask Nation, which was a Cedar Ridge peated Sauterne single malt. Oh yeah, it's really good. Cedar Ridge makes very good whiskey. This was a very nice thing. But mine, which actually cousin to Morgan, it was my choice for single malt this year was the Virginia Distilling Brewers Coalition, where they put in they did a collaboration with local brewery to me, Boulevard Beer, and it was in their stout.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I had it at Distill because I couldn't find it on shelves, and so I had it at Distill, and it was like week or two after I got back, all of a sudden there's on an end cap, and it's just really nice. They make good. Virginia makes.
Mhm.
I mean, they're making Scotch. It's good. And,
Yeah.
But that the Brewers Coalition, and I know they're doing other Brewers Coalitions, but yeah, this one with the stout, I like a stout finish. But it was very, very well done.
Yeah, I put it on both you for those two because that whole set they had there was pretty nice. I think they had like 3 specialties and they all had a nice little twist to them.
They just came out with another one too, and I want it. I'm not going to say what I think it is because I'm probably wrong, because you know the old memory doesn't work that well. But somebody else can look it up.
That's fair. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cough like that. All right, so single malt is now off the list. Done.
Off the table.
And no, I don't think anything too controversial. Jesse.
Not yet.
Little depressed about one. That's about it.
I mean, my bourbon of the year is Ric Flair bourbon, so there's that.
Well, woo! You know, you got to do it.
Marketing alone.
Yep.
That's my rule. If you want to have it, you're at my house and you want to have it, you got to do the woo.
I think that's like, I thought that was whiskey dependent. Like that was drink dependent. Especially at the bar.
No flair.
Yeah, especially as you're pouring it, you almost need to woo. And then the bartender woos, and then as they do the shot, they woo. Right?
You go. Gold screw top. That's how you know you got class right there.
You know what? But to be honest, screw tops are slightly underrated.
That screw top costs more than your house. It's going to steal your wife. Go ahead.
Sorry. Suits on a bad tactic. All right. So single malts out of the way. How about we slide into a completely different category, a kind of new category for us to an extent. How about gin?
Sounds good to me.
We added gin. Let me find. Oh my god, my eyes are so tiny. I couldn't find that one. Craft Gin of the Year. And
why are your eyes tiny?
I don't know. I couldn't see the damn thing. I'm getting old. I had to like get down and do the squinty thing to read what it is. Well, since all of them are almost the same, you got to get in there and make sure you get the right one. So I started last time. Who wants to take off with their Gin of the Year? Because I have 2 on here that I really, really enjoy. I'm going to call it out. Mitch, go.
All right. So I had to disqualify a lot of gins because I had them last year, even though we shared them on stream this year. So like the Ferdinand's gin was absolutely fantastic, but I had it last year. All the other gins we shared. Morgan brought up Christmas gin from Lacrosse Distillery, but I tried that a couple years ago at Distill. And as much as I didn't want to choose a single barrel, the Mezcal finished gin from Tin Head was really just so good. I couldn't not select that as my gin of the year.
Very fair. Very fair.
So,
I was gonna say the Frederick one. I do remember. I was gonna say doing that, and I did the same thing with 1 or 2 that when we get into the rye category, where it was something that someone may have had last year that I did not try until this year. So I understand that.
So the Omaha really kind of shot myself in the foot on that one.
Well, I mean that's such a slew.
Yeah, that's the point.
It was a year's worth of spirits.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was a barrage of whiskey
that's the point.
and spirits.
All right, Mike, where did you go with gins?
Right in my belly. So gins, a couple of ones that really stood out was that the Revelton Mulberry Gin. But as much as I like that, I feel like there's a labeling thing on there because it's below 40%. And I don't believe that you can go below 40% and still be gin. But we've seen the TTB do lots of really fun stuff. So,
Yeah.
But I really, really liked it. And it is like crack. And everyone that I've given it to, it's like, oh, you should try this. They're like, oh my God, this is really good. They don't think that it's gin. That was really good. Some of the other ones that we had were like, from the Omaha, there was the J. Rear barreled gin. That was really good. And the Corsair pot distilled barrel gin, also really good. But not identical to Mitch, but not far off. My favorite gin of all those, because there were some really good choices from them, was the Knowlton House 10 Head, the Meadow Cut. Because that Meadow Cut was and is so freaking refreshing. I mean, it's still, when I had it again, because I was like, oh, I like the woodlands, I like the finished stuff, that was all good. But that Meadow Cut, from the time that you get it near you where you can pick it up, and then on top of that, then there's just that whole, just that mouthfeel from their distillate. It's just so coating and refreshing, and just like when we had it on the show, and we're like, I feel like I just got a third wind. It's effervescent without being carbonated. It was just like, wow, I feel refreshed. It's pretty darn tasty. And I'm very grateful to have had that.
Mm-hmm. Agree with that. Morgan, what do you have choices on your list?
Alrighty. So once again, kind of some repeats here. I also had the Meadow Cut gin. I mean, I agree. It's kind of like that fresh out of the shower feeling, I feel like, but you're in a spring meadow. Also had the Mezcal aged gin from Knowlton House, because never in a million years, once again, did I think I'd like something related even remotely to Mezcal. Another one was the Rosemary Basil gin from Sturgeon. That was really good. We actually picked up a bottle of that when we went there. Pretty solid. Another one was Township 23's gin. They were right next to Ledge Rock at Distill America. Their gin was just really clean, had a really good flavor profile to it, just really refreshing, really good. I think all they had was a gin and vodka, so hoping they're at Distill again this year. And hopefully they have more, because was really excited with what they had. But what takes the cake for me in the gin category this year, because it was the first time I had it, was the Christmas gin from La Crosse. I think I've drank probably half of our bottle by now that we picked up. It's quite lovely by itself, quite lovely in a gin and tonic. It's just, oh man, it makes my heart happy. That's all there is to it.
That's what we like to hear. My gins, which I didn't, there was a point where I didn't think I'd have a category where I'd have more than one or two of these in the section, but I've started to like them and started to see how wide a variety there are of gins. I do tend to like more of a New World gin, fruitier, I was going to say, rather than dry and kick you in the teeth kind of gin. So on that note, I already mentioned, but the Revelton Mull gin, just real, how could you not like it? That's just tasty. It's another one that I don't know if you really need to play with it too much. You're fine with it when it comes out of the bottle, just like that. Grab a nice cube and tell people you made a cocktail, and they don't need to know. The other one for me, and mentioned the one that I'm going to go with my gin of the year, was Knowlton House's Mezcal Finish gin, because when I had some of the others I was tasting, and I had that one, and the creaminess off the mouthfeel that you get off of it anyways but the mixing with the mescal, the agave kind of mixture to it, it's just kind of layered this creaminess into the gin that is something that you don't typically find. And it just, I don't want to say it dulled down the high points of gin, but it just gave it a really neat twist that I was not accustomed to, and a little bit of smokiness, always nice. But that one, it's one of the few things that turned my head all year when I had it. And I was like, holy fuck, what is going on? And, had like strapped in for a second. And I had to go back, and I was just, hell, I almost wanted to to hug the one lady that was on the show. And after I had it and you guys were coming, I'm like, oh, come over here. This is fantastic. What do you mean? Like, it just
was how I started Distill America. That was my first drink.
Well, it's a good way to start. So for gin, I think they will be finding, the more they make, I think they'll find more and more places to go and fit into in bars and restaurants just because of its uniqueness. And you can really play with it. You can do all your classic stuff a little bit different with it and not change anything, but you get a little bit different outcome, which is nice. So yeah, I was going the same way with that. So yeah, a lot of double coverage on that, but that's all right because that means they were good.
Yep.
So we'll check off gins and work our way up and down the list here. Does anyone got a preference to where we go next? Specialty. How about that? We'll get rid of this gin. We'll get rid of the specialty one. This would be everything left over, which is it's late. It's a fucking huge category. It is goddamn huge. All sorts of things can go into it, which made it for me. So I don't want to say difficult, but hell, it was just wide when you start thinking back of everything you have in a year that's doesn't fit into the main like big three, and you're like, oh. So, Morgan, do you want to lead off specialty stuff?
Sure. This was hard because it was like, I agree, it's a very broad spectrum, but there were three that really stood out to me. One of these I might get crucified for, but here we go. First choice is the chocolate vodka from Paradise North. We went up there after Distill, and it literally is like eating a chocolate bar. It's pretty fantastic. It's great by itself. It was also a really good mix 50-50 with their coffee vodka, which would probably be another one to throw on the list. The lavender vodka from Old Station 31 that was at Distill America. That was, oh man, that was really, really good. But I'm also a sucker for lavender flavored things. And then the one I'm probably going to get crucified over, but here we go. The Bubba's whiskey that was at Distill America that was like pancake syrup or marshmallow or whatever flavored. I actually thoroughly enjoyed those. As crazy as that is, but it's kind of something different, not usually what I would go for, but sometimes you just need a sugary pick-me-up that is also boozy, and there you go. That's what it was. So
I think it's something that catches your eye. That's just the way it is. You know?
Yeah.
Or your tongue, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, all right. Mike, do you have some choices for specialty?
Oh yeah, got a few. So yeah, especially you mentioned Bubba's. Yeah, the Bubba's was the first time I tried Distill because I was walking with Shannon and I said something about going over to try the bacon vodka. She's like, "Oh, have you tried Bubba's?" I was like, no. So we go and walk over and tried the pancakes and bacon. And he was like, yeah, it's pancakes and bacon and maple syrup. And the burnt sugar. It was like, it's caramelized sugar. It's a little creme brulee too. And then I've seen the chocolate marshmallow. I didn't try it there, but I've seen the chocolate marshmallow, and I have purchased Bubba's since that time because it's interesting and for what it is. Also the Northern Waters Fox Red. That was another one that was a big standout. The Vicar Voyager Aquavit and their herbal liqueur were big standouts. The Knowlton House vodka, the 10-head vodka. That was another one that stood out. And then there was the I put it under specialty, but I wasn't because it's not a bourbon or anything, but the Dancing Goat in lieu of flowers. I had it last year, but I got a bottle of it this year, so I got to experience it more. So I just put that on there as an honorable mention. And then there was the onslaught of stuff from Old Homestead, which was just, fat kid in a candy store. And then also elegance, it's like, here's fat kid fun or elegance. But mine for specialty, and this is, I've only done this one other time, and I've got two of these this year. I've got tie. I have a tie on this one for specialty. Ooh. And they are very different from each other, but I absolutely could not choose one on there because they are two completely different things, two completely different feelings or emotions and usages of them. And the first one, my specialty that's a tie, is the MB Roland Kentucky Azul.
Oh
my God. It's well, as you can tell, it's good. It's been shared a fair amount, but I will be making a trip down there to get more of this. It's
Did
just
you go? Get the extra.
See, and I tried a couple, and the only reason that I got this one is one, they had it, and then it hit right. And then my other one that's part of my tie, the aforementioned Old Homestead, the Black Forest Spirits 9 Herb Charm. It is so different and unique and stands out on a specialty spirit. It's not super sweet. And then, as they said, old ladies in town will buy it for to put in their tea. And of course then I'm like, oh, it's going in some green tea. It's gonna go in some Earl Grey. It's gonna go in it's definitely going in tea. But yeah, I could not. They're very different from each other, and I absolutely could not choose going back and forth between the two of them. So
oh,
I got tie.
I didn't have the Azul. I did not have that this year, but that's a good choice.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. Just to break it up, I'm going to go next, and Mitch, you can go last. And we'll flip flop on the next one. I have a couple things that are overlaps, obviously. The Old Homestead Barrage is on, kind of just stated here for that. I in particular like the lemon, and a couple other ones too. But the lemon was like a lemon meringue lemon, and the way I could play and my love of lemon, it was pretty home for me. So I liked that one. Another one that I was not prepared for was I think it was Northern Waters Fig Vodka. That was surprising to me.
List.
Not one I was expecting to. I do like fig kind of date, but that was I just need to be a vodka than everyone's flavored one. It came out really nice. I like that one. Another one on my list that you guys will be receiving later this week. It's on my list is Sturgeon Spirits Amaretto. They took a long time doing it, and when you see it as far as a specialty, it is. I was for having amaretto, I was actually pretty impressed. I was like, "Damn, this is good." Tried it because my sister likes amaretto as the thing, and so then when you see a wall of variety choices when you're stopped for the day, you kind of start going.
Something
Huh?
They only have like 160, 150 different choices, something like that.
Yeah. And then we were making cocktails when we were there, making things up. So it was like, well, what about this? Try it with this one. So yeah, we kind of made a couple new cocktails when we were there with the people working. But I found that to be surprisingly amount of depth for what you were getting out of it compared to some other amarettos. You really got a nutty depth flavor to it rather than just kind of the shiny, sugary, syrupy side of it. So I dug that one. But the 9 herb charm for me was on the top of my list because I didn't think I was going to be as big a fan of it as I was going to be. So 9 herbs and stuff, sometimes that starts getting to be overwhelming for my senses, or sometimes can be too powerful for some of them. But I, like you said, for where that range can go, I really dug that's the 9 herb charm for that one. So they were my winner this year. Mitch, what was your specialty category like?
So mine was different. I didn't have any of Alan's stuff. Still haven't. I don't know why I haven't. I missed the show and never opened the bottles.
I thought you were going to say they're empty.
Yeah,
they were never here. Reason I'm not looking for them. Like I don't.
Lost in the move. Duncan buried him. I don't know.
The Beaker herbal liqueur was on there, but unfortunately I had it last year. The Northern Waters elderflower liqueur was on there. A Wilden's spiced rum was on there. They have a clear spiced rum that absolutely blew my mind. But for me, the winner was the fig vodka from Northern Waters. I'm a sucker for fig, and he did it so well.
Yes, he did.
I kept going. I think that is the only thing I had more than one sample of at Distill America, and that's really saying something, right? You only have a few hundred choices. So
yeah, I dug that one. Just
yeah.
It came out being a fun vodka. And it doesn't happen a lot.
But not only that, it was a very good spirit.
Oh yeah, it was well done.
It was just good.
I'd say apple brandy fell into the specialty category, kind of the catch-all. And to be honest, I didn't go too deep into apple brandy this year. I don't know. It almost seems like you got to have little sections to weigh into sometimes. But those both sound. Ooh, those all sound really nice.
Douglas Fir brandy.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to try it. I like those. Very nice, very nice. All right, specialties done. Single malt, gin's done. We only got 3 or 4 left. Where do we want to go to? Bourbon or rye?
Let's do rye.
Do rye. All right, here. Circle in on rye. You want to start one?
Sure. Yeah. And when we were
I don't
going
mean to
over,
be generaling this, so I'm sorry, but I am.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It's your show, dude. The rye category when I was first going through everything, then initially my list of stuff was really rye heavy, and I was like, oh my god, last year was so rye heavy, and it took a while to get the list of everything else put on there to where then it was just like the specialty area the list was long, and there was so much gin on there, then we broke that out. But having said that, there were some very good ryes. The Revelton rye, I still remember that. I wish I could get that same rye because the one I got did not match that one, but it was very good. The Liberty Pole peated rye was very good. Finally got to try the Loop River rye, which I enjoyed that. Eliminated from competition for me, unfortunately, the MB Roland Bourbon on the Banks single barrel pick, which is a rye. So good. And another rye that I would like to have it on there, but it's not out yet, but it will be soon, I believe, was the Old Homestead rye was a big standout. But my winner of all those ryes is the Liberty Pole Old Monongahela Full Proof Rye.
Okay.
Big, bold flavor. Proof was complimentary. Didn't smack you around so much that it was like Sagamore rye cast strength, which I like, will toss you around the room. So I mean, it will
Grab you by the lapels,
like Jack's single barrel proof rye will also toss you around the room in a glorious way. I mean, those are it's like I have a short list of I want to get tossed around, and so those are on the list. But this was, even with that with the proof on it and just the Monongahela being different rye than what everyone's used to having daily. Flavors and everything was really good. Just very, very nice. A nice whiskey.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Morgan, you want to go next?
Sure. All right. Grab my trusty handy dandy notebook. I also had the peated rye from Liberty Pole. Once again, peated, right? I think I also talked about another peated one in the single malt category. That was the one from the Stillworks. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I'm maybe turning to the dark side. Maybe. Just
no doubt. My section will never be the same.
Another one, and it's what I've been sipping on tonight until I switched to Powerade and a little under the weather, is the Sweet Mash Rye from Steeple Ridge. I don't know if that was sent out in Omaha or not. I don't think so.
Post Omaha.
We stopped there on the way back from Distill and picked that up. And it is chef's kiss. But the one that took it from me this year was the 4-year ride that 45th Parallel put out that they had at Distill. That was the perfect rye, in my opinion. It was just enough, to smack you around, as Mike would say, but also had the back smooth, it's going to smack you around and then take you out to dinner, I guess is the way to put it. But that was the winner for me in this category. That's all I've with it.
Right.
So
choice.
So for me, I disqualified a bunch of these again because I'd had them before. The peated rye from Liberty Pole I had a while back. Same with their Monongahela rye. I had a buddy in Pennsylvania who turned me on to them a while back and been a big fan. The other rye that I remember just constantly reaching for over the past year was an MB Roland single barrel, finished in stout casks. I thought it was fantastic. It was a Fred Minnick pick, so I am less enthused about that, but gosh darn it, he really chose a good one. But my winner was actually, I know it's so annoying that he does that, was actually also a Steeple Ridge. It was their sherry finished rye. That is fantastic. It is high proof, sherry, well balanced, hard to beat. If I'm picking a rye, I'm hard pressed not to pick that one.
Nice. I like that, especially ones I don't know about.
So, how many bottles of that did you pick up then?
4. Well, you don't want to run out.
I don't.
Did they give
You know, it's
a
like because I'm not going. It was in Iowa, and I'm not going
Right.
there anymore.
Yeah.
But that's fair. I mean, if you have the opportunity to get something like that, you're like, well, they can't ship, they can't do this, and whatever. They can't get no, and I really like it.
So they gave us an individual tour when we went there, because they don't have like opening hours. They just were like, okay, well, let us know and give us a heads up. So we were like, well, we'll be leaving Wisconsin at 9 a.m. So we'll see you at 1 p.m. And they were like, okay. And then we showed up and they had completely forgotten about it, but they still gave us a tour. And they're like, hey, if you give us a heads up next time, we could plan this better. And I was like, we did. And they're like, no. And then they like scrolled on their calendar and they're like, oh my God, you did. We almost helped them bottle for a while.
Iowans, man.
But it was a great tour. So kudos to them.
It's nice to
Very
have fun
nice
like
people.
Yeah.
that. I have a couple on mine. I had the old Homestead Rye on mine as well too, Mike, even though it's not quite there. More as a mention to as when it does, or a year or two from now, when it gets to that point, man, that is going to be it's a little beast now. So keep an eye out for that. Number 2 on mine was the Loop River Rye that Mitch had gotten us, was your winner last year, and I understood why. Very, very nice. My winner, actually the same as Mike's, was Liberty Pool's Old Monongahela. Mine more because I've had that style before, and I haven't really been a fan of it. Not just maybe just the different brands that were making it that I had, but as far as ryes go, it wasn't one that stood out to me. I had that one, and I really enjoyed it, and I found it to be slightly different than some of the other Monongahela that I had had. There's a little bit more depth to it. It seemed to be richer for me, and I just was drawn to that one more so. Not surprising from them. They seem to be pretty solid with what they're putting out in general, what their goals are. So, Middle West. Oh, I heard about that, Jesse.
I think Jesse let us try that when we went down.
Yes, he did.
That was absolutely fantastic. I've been searching for a bottle because I found the port finish, I think, pumpernickel, and that was
different,
not as good.
Well,
I've really only uniqueness out of the pumpernickel.
I had only heard of this one, the dark pumpernickel rye. I didn't hear about the other one, but I heard enough people really like it, but they had a hard time finding it in this stuff. So, too bad to that. But no, that would be one that I would love to try. It's got a different flavor tone to it, and I don't think I like pumpernickel per se, but I want it. All right, so we're down to bourbon, then whiskey how about distillery of the year, and then whiskey of the year? Whatever first. Bourbon first. So let's do bourbons. Mitch, do you want to do bourbons first?
So this year was really bourbon light for me, if that makes a sense. I feel like I tried way too many bourbons the year before and didn't try a whole lot this year that I haven't had. So moving to Michigan, I got to try the Corsets, Whips, and Whiskeys bourbon that wins the wheat whiskey all the time from Fred Middick. We have some local distilleries, the Kalamazoo Stillhouse and Gold Lake, that puts out really great bourbons. But my winner was actually from post distill. It is the toasted oat bourbon from Paradise North. So we met Pat there, and I tried it there, and I loved it so much I had to pick up a bottle. It's really good. It's got a lovely toasted character. The oats give it great mouthfeel. They really knocked that one out of the park.
I remember when they were starting going down that path, and I was urging him to go down that. It's when they were trying things. I'm like, well, no matter what happens, this is a damn good start. Whatever you do, this is where you go. Like that's where you head out to. So interesting, very very nice choice. I don't want to say I wasn't expecting that, but nice choice on that one. Morgan, where did your bourbon of the year go to?
Yeah, I also feel like it was kind of a bourbon light year. Not sure. I mean, didn't drink as much last year as normal years due to health reasons, but here we are. Honorable mention, once again, it's the single barrel, but Larrikin's single barrel that they had at Distill America last year. I was fortunate literally to get the last sample out of it, and I'm really glad I did because it was Chef's Kiss. Their regular bourbon that they have is also Chef's Kiss. But the one that took it for me last year was the toasted barrel proof from Redline out of Paducah, Kentucky. Tried it at Distill, and it was quite delicious. Really, really enjoyed it.
Very, very cool. Mike, what were your bourbons?
Oh, just a couple.
I think it's a big list. I think yours might be a little wider.
No, I had a pretty good list. So one of my favorites, which was single barrel, so I had to take it out, was the Dancing Goat Whiskey City Solo Cask.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a really great choice, and for them to, here's a bottling our first distillate, and guess what? It's really good. It was a very good whiskey. Couple other ones stand out. The Iron Root Mother of Texas Whiskey. That was a really nice release. The Bluegrass 7-Year Blue Corn was good. Really, really good one that I enjoyed quite a bit was the Buzzard's Roost Cigar Blend Bourbon.
Yeah.
It's really, really
That's
good.
really, really good. It's on the list here. Sorry.
It's on the list. And then the James E. Pepper Barrel Proof Bourbon in the decanter, their distillate. Got to try that when I was in town for Bourbon on the Banks and went there. It's pretty good. They did a really good job with their distillate. But the one, and I think Buzzard's Roost might have taken. It might have, but it did not. Oh, I'll also throw another honorable mention, and I'll say it. I don't care. The Jack Daniel's Heritage Barrel Toasted.
Yeah.
It's a bourbon. Shut up. It's bourbon. It's also very good.
Yeah. Sorry, this year was.
And you could find it on the shelves now, because I was talking with someone the other day that they had it, and they're like, "Oh man, I found it. It was only $75." I'm like, it's $20 less now, but it was good. It's good stuff. The Buzzard's Roost, that one was so close for taking it, but the one that really took the bourbon for me was because one I was anticipating getting, and I was like, I just hope I'm not hyping myself up so much, because the last time I got it, it was so good, and then this time, what's going to happen? And it was, which I think I have the bottle here. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I do. The 2025 release of the Barrel House Cask Strength. It lived up to my internal hype. And I tried it right before I bought another bottle. And then I left Bourbon on the Banks. It's like, I should have bought a second bottle because it was going to disappear again. But it lived up to my own hype that I'd hyped myself on. It's very, very good whiskey. If you get a chance to pick up Barrel House, It's good. It's really good. But the Buzzard's Roost Cigar Blend Bourbon was very, very, very close.
I was gonna say similar. I had the Whiskey City Solo Cask on mine just because very similar for a first release. That's a pretty solid first release of something that you're doing. Um, the depth was a lot better than a lot of other companies for first releases on stuff. So very, very good on that one. I enjoyed that. I like having it. Um, Another one I had on there was a Still Austin. I had that one. It was very tasty this year. Kind of had a little more berry note than I had in years past, and I dug that one quite a bit. Um, but mine, I didn't expect you to mention that, Mike, was Buzzard's Roost Cigar Blend. That was what mine was. That one was. I really. When people say cigar blends, I was gonna say sometimes you don't quite know what you're gonna get. You just think you're gonna get something bold. That one really it subtly mixed in some nice flavors into that one really, really well. I really enjoyed that. So that's the one I had for my bourbon of the year. Now we only got two left. I was gonna say we're almost done with that hour time frame. We're doing really nice tonight, everybody.
We're doing pretty good.
Oh, let's see. Flying Aces. That I have not had that.
I haven't had that. We'll have to go there.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting. 36% MG. Okay. You guys are on a mission. I like putting people on a mission. Oh, and yeah, I was going to say this. Nice. So let's do Distillery of the Year. You want to do that one next? Do you want to do bourbon or do you want to do whiskey of the year first? And then they're equal footing for me. So I don't give one a little more credence.
Let's do Distillery.
Distillery. Honorable mentions for me. For the amount of things that are out there, Old Homestead, it's an honorable mention, and like I said, the more time goes with that, the more other things come out, or you get a couple more years under stuff. That's gonna be such a wide variety of things, and I really dig the sunflower thing. Apparently, from what that adds into this, I mean, it's a neat flavor profile that I didn't get out of everyone else. So, other one for me, and this is where it gets very, very close for me, is Knowlton House. It was my number 2 on that one, but once again, pretty much everything I had from them I liked, and a bunch of it was gin. So, you know how I felt about that in the past. But I really dig what they're doing, and what they have for their product line hits a nice standard. So I like that. But for me, a little more of a surprise. Liberty Pole was my distillery of the year. Couple samples I had from you guys and a couple other ones I had. Extremely solid all the way around. There was nothing there that had a weak answer. It was all very enjoyable. The wheat was really nice too. So for all around and just very high quality all around this year, the Liberty Pole gets it for me. So I will yield my time on the floor.
So Wood Hat for me was a very strong contender. I don't think they make anything that's less than excellent. Probably could have taken it if I had gotten their cask strength allocated corn selection.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that so bad, but I'm sad about that. Vicker was the other really strong contender. I love their aquavit. I love their herbal liqueur. But for me, the people that took it this year were Northern Waters. Just the fig vodka, the elderflower liqueur, the peated single malt. it really was all that good, and the variety was just insane. I'm very impressed with what Jake's doing. You know, he took over and he is not only maintaining, he is improving, something that I already loved. So major kudos to him.
Good deal. I like that. Morgan?
Honorable mention, first one would be Lacrosse. Somehow I apparently have missed them the past couple of years at Distill. But I'm going to give it, obviously, because of their Christmas gin. Really enjoyed their rye as well. Next one is going to be Knowlton House, like what we've been talking about. Their vodka is delicious. Their gins are delicious. Their mezcal gin. I'm really, really excited to see what they have in store for their future releases. I know when she was on the show, she was talking about what she's aging in barrels currently. And I think good things are definitely to become of what's shaken there. But my distillery of the year is Larrikin.
Great.
I think I really liked what they had to offer. I also love their message that they're supporting. Plus, I think it's cool that they have Wombat as their logo. I think that's fun. Plus, Greg and his wife Katie were some of the nicest people I've ever met. Were great to talk to. We're both very enthusiastic talking about their bourbons, and we're both, very hands-on. Next time we're in Kentucky, hopefully if we have time, I definitely want to go visit them. But I have seen some of the single releases that they put out by following them on Facebook, and oh man, I'm drooling over here. Let's put it that way. So they have my distillery of the year this year.
Sweet. Very nice. Mikey?
This one was tight.
I'd say so.
I almost would have been my third tie. As I said, I've had ties twice. I almost would have had my third total tie with this one because it was hard.
Then we'd have to accuse you of stuff then if you had 3 times.
Yeah, pandering. So yeah, Northern Waters was on my list just because, again, like you said, Jake taking over and what he did. They have no right to make the stuff as good as they do. They don't have to where they're at, but they do, and it was all great. I love trying everything, and he was such a hoot to talk to. Really nice guy. Knowlton House, for all the obvious reasons. Every single thing we tried of theirs was just, it was dead on everything. And for someone who's, I'll say new because, they were at Distill last year and it's the first time I saw them. And then this year it's like, okay, that seems like they had a little bit more out, and it's just every single thing that they had was good. And then my other one, which will take it because, well, for a couple of things, just because it pulled on some heartstrings for what they had, but they were all specialty releases as far as everything we had. And that was all the stuff from Old Homestead. The peach cordial, that peach cordial. It's like I'm eating an old school peach pie. The 9 herb charm was an experience in itself. The sunshine spirit. Well, the sunshine itself, the sunflower distillate is, it's a unique experience to itself. But when you apply that with the flavors that they're doing, and a couple of those were very, very strong emotional sense memories of my grandma's candy dish. And that was the root beer and the butterscotch. And that just, I could not get over it. And I still can't get over it when I try those. They're just something else. But yeah, the three of those were all very tight. And it was almost going to be a tie between Knowlton House and Old Homestead, but Old Homestead will get my nod for Distillery.
Very nice. I like that. Very, very cool. Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough at everybody on that one. Did everybody go on that one? I think so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Mitch.
Good timing.
You in that blanket. It's kind of scary.
It's cold in the basement. I don't have anybody down here to warm me up. Duncan keeps wandering away. He was sitting on my feet. It was kind of nice.
Well, if you were nicer, she'd let you upstairs.
Oh, no hope to that.
All right, we got one last one. It is the whiskey of the year. So, what was the best whiskey you had this year? Morgan, let's start with you.
This was a tough one. They both have been brought up. This was a tie for me. But in lieu of flowers and Whiskey City Solo Cask, both from Dancing Goat, it is a 100% tie for me on both of those. Yeah, enough said. They're both rock stars.
Very, very cool. I like that. Mitch, what's your whiskey of the year?
So mine was almost chosen for me because ever since I've got it, everyone who's ever drank it has been like, this is one of the best things I've ever had in my life. And it is In Lieu of Flowers.
Damn, people. I like it. What was this other Brickway Distillery? Have you guys heard of that?
Brickway? Yeah.
Brickway? Okay.
I would. Well, I'll just get ready to type it, but I'll still type it and say it. Their single malt is low key very good. I mean, you would not think it. It's you're like, oh, Nebraska. No, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Mike, where did your whiskey of the year fall? I think you've had a lot more than I have. Oh, sorry. What?
So no, you're fine. So yeah, you two mentioned a couple that were on my list that I have to do honorable mention. That the Whiskey City Solo Cast, for all the reasons I said, but considering it for bourbon, it's like, hey, it's our first time with our first distillate. Oh, and it just happens to be really good and very high proof and highly drinkable, and well done. And they're really nice people. Yeah. I mean, it was a good bourbon, it was just a very good bourbon. The In Lieu of Flowers, I'd had it before, but then, having Fred tell the story of why it was called, what it was, I had to buy the bottle. And we've had a couple of occasions with people that have all had a bunch of loss, and it's like, all right, this is the Lost Barrel. And of course, everyone looks at it like, whoa, that's really high proof. Like, let it mellow, chill out. You will be happy for the experience. And then they all do the same thing, and everybody's like, I can't believe that, that you like something and it has that much flavor at that high of proof. And it does. And it was just very, very good. Another whiskey that I'd mentioned, which was very high up on my list, was that single barrel from Single Cask Nation, the Cedar Ridge Peated Sauterne.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, you guys. One of these days I'll have to get another set of samples together so you can try it. It's a very good whiskey. They tend to do very good picks, Single Cask Nation. My whiskey of the year, I got to try it a couple of times in 2025, and got a bottle that's now in my possession. But this one is reminiscent of some of older whiskeys, like out of distribution whiskeys. The flavors that are on it, everything from the nose to the palate on this whiskey is dense. And I know that Mitch and Morgan have one of these that they will be getting. And I know that Jesse will as well, but this one, the Iron Root Saints Alley Harold Cigar Blend. Oh my God. I mean, it is dense fruits, it's dense chocolate, it's dense everything on the nose, and then has citrus on it. And it's like, oh man, this is like a 18-year-old whiskey. It has notes of that where you're like, oh, it's just got all this stuff on there. No, it's not. It's a blend of 10 and 13-year-old whiskey. But it's spent many, many years in PX and Oloroso casks and Armagnac casks. And it imparts all those flavors on there. And it is just, it's a really freaking good whiskey. Unfortunately, there were only 1,800 bottles. There are still some on the shelves in Kentucky and some in Texas at Total Wines. But they only had like 200 at the distillery, and they sold out like that. So
Well, at least
But
they're
there are-
keeping some of the public happy out and about in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there are some, like say, it's specifically there were a few on the shelf last weekend in at the St. Matthew's Total Wine Store in Louisville, and I've heard of a couple more in spots in Texas that have them. They can be found through if you look through a Total Wine and go searching for it. They'll tell you where it's at. But that's I've been sipping on tonight, and I mean it's so good.
I have not had that one
Yet.
There were some other ones. There's a bluegrass blue corn that you guys are getting that I had that I really liked. Reminisce more on that shaking you around aspect that I haven't had in a while, where we say that, but it kind of grabbed me by the shirt collars, you know, where they wrap you up here. Get to start lifting you off the ground before you know what's going on. That was kind of the feeling I had with that. Then it relaxed out in a bunch of flavors going on. Everything else I mentioned, you guys had mentioned already, so I'm just gonna cut to it. I went with it in lieu of flowers as well, because I had not had that before. I thought it was a really neat blend, herbal wise, of flavor that went with it. It was just really nice, and it didn't fit into any of my other categories.
Mhm.
So it fell right into where it was supposed to go. So that was where I went with that one. And I did not have that very much, just bits or pieces here, there, and other ones that might not have been, would have been, fell into that not as single barrel kind of area of things. Mother of Texas whiskey blend, I don't know where that kind of landed. I put that single barrelish, and a couple other ones where it was there, but I dug that one. That was one I could sit down and drink quite a lot of times. Ooh, bluegrass toasted is very nice too. That's always a very solid whiskey. Can I get a bluegrass blue corn or toasted blue corn barrel someday? Maybe. You think we could do that? Bluegrass.
Let's go get it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I like it. I don't know. I'd hate to be the person that would try, like, let's try this, and then it's like, holy fuck, that was awful. That was you're not allowed to make choices this next month. No, you can't pick pizza. You're done.
No speaking parts for you.
Yeah. just go get the malt and put it in. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us this evening and going over some of the things that we had that we thought were really special this year. I do have some things out to these guys, like that Bluegrass has that. There is some Timekeeper Lounge from Wisconsin that's going out to you guys. They are from the middle of the state, like Stevens Point, but they opened their tasting room down the road, over by the stadium, a couple blocks off, but in close enough vicinity that smart move on that aspect, from what I mean. There is Santa Fe Old and Santa Fe New. I gave you each old one so that we kind of had a variance of what old was, because we all have our old bottles of Cole Keegan someplace, and I don't want it to be between batch 5 and 15. So got samples of that, and I think a couple more things. There was a slew of stuff that just people kept dropping stuff off. So we'll have a couple of those coming up over the next few weeks. But thank you guys for hanging out and watching the show with us, and for all your excellent tasting, you guys, this evening. Mike, Morgan, and Mitch, the 3Ms.
And Patrick.
Well, that's just a P. So, like I was saying, thank you everyone for stopping out this evening. We really appreciate it. And until next week, remember, it is not the size of the den that matters. It is the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.